This is Lama News, bringing you the news today.
Hello everyone, my name is James Smith and welcome to these Good Mornings with Lama News. Passing the camera to reporter gamer who is interviewing Mr. Fox. Passing the camera over. Hi James Smith, I am reporter gamer interviewing here with Mr. Fox. Say hi Mr. Fox.
Hello, how's it going?
Well, it's going good. How are you this good morning?
I'm pretty good actually, I'm just chilling on the bench, just putting my feet up against this fountain, this lovely fountain that's in front of me.
Interesting, because I thought we were in a recording studio, but sure.
No, we're in the public.
Anyway,
the recording studio is under construction, don't you know?
Oh yeah, that's right. They told me about it. I have bad vision, you know that. But anyways, we're not here to talk about me. And memory, yes, that's true. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. Well, Mr. Fox, could you introduce yourself? Who are you in the server of Shelby County?
Well, I am the first founding father of Shelby County. This whole thing was just an idea that I began after I was just playing Prison Break with some dudes in the very first Shelby County Penitentiary. And I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if there was a city on the outside? And so, here we are, with the city out the outside.
Well, I am sure those were fun times, I imagine. But
Sure.
Could you tell us some other people that contributed in this nice looking city of yours now?
Well, there's a lot of people. I could go on for ages about them because they're got backstories and all that kind of stuff. The first person to help me properly was a guy by the name of Hawking Dread, and he was a very nice guy. He helped me out, with some just technical stuff like deciding the name of the currency for the entire county, which is now called Mercurians, and helping me with just some basic structures for a few years, like maybe 1 or 2, and then he left. And then he got replaced by the most ridiculous man I've ever met, Glitch Gamer, who's not here. He's a very good guy. He's helped me out with so dang much, inside and outside of Shelby County. I am super duper thankful to be his friend. Super duper thankful. I think about it every day and I'm like, yeah, I'm his friend. So yeah, wouldn't be here without him. And there is also Tyrak, who was here.
I am sure he helped a lot as well.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Totally.
Well, tell us more about what's going on the server right now. What are the plans that you and Mr. Glitch Gamer have right now?
Oh, the plans.
Yes.
Oh, where to begin with the plans that we have? Well, first of all, Glitch Gamer is in another city called Livedian, right? And he's over there right now, and he's trying to get stuff, organized for himself, so that he could book a plane, right, to fly over here. Now, I just hope, for whatever reason, that he just doesn't come out of a plane that comes out of the ground automatically, because that would just be terrible.
Oh, yes, I imagine it would be.
It would be terrible, right? But if that did happen, then I'm sure it would be fine. So, yeah, he's trying to get himself organized at the moment, but he's running into a few, problems. But when he gets here, we have many plans to build up the city to make it look more interesting than what it looks right now. There are some dead spots that we have that we don't like, and most excitingly, we will be working on events such as Worldwide Manhunt and Ultimate Forgery, which are the most exciting 2 events we have going on.
Yes, very exciting. I don't know if this is just a rumor, right? But the reporters are going crazy, and as I am a reporter, I have to ask this question. So there's a rumor going on that there's a new city coming. What can you tell us about that, Mr. Fox?
Oh. So I believe the city is going to be called Crystal Skies. It is going to
Mm.
have a gorgeous, hopefully gorgeous, mountain backdrop, and
Uh-huh.
there's going to be a mix of old and new buildings in the city, like with lots of skyscrapers and very cool road layouts and all that kind of, kit and caboodle. It's going to look very nice. It There are some things that I can't tell you about it for legal reasons,
Yes, of course, of course. We
but
understand that.
there will be some stuff that citizens may want to go and explore for.
Ah, we'll sure try to keep that in the interview.
Yes.
Another thing is that there has been another rumor going around that the government right now doesn't have an actual building. Is that true, Mr. Fox?
Well, the most government-like building we have right now in existence is the courthouse, right? It's basically our stand-in. I think there's a few offices where people can actually work, right? But we don't have a fully labeled and designed SCG building at the current moment. But we plan to in the future when Glitch arrives. And it's gonna have many like offices, planning rooms, detonation room. I'm kidding. Hello? Hello, Reporter Gamer. We seem to have lost communications with you. Reporter Gamer, are you there?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for that slightly interruption, technical difficulties, but we are back talking to Mr. Fox in this lovely interview. Mr. Fox, welcome back.
Hello, reporter. It's good to be back, after those technical difficulties, well, we got them sorted, thankfully, because we had the best men on the team.
Yes, yes, very good, man.
Very
But
good.
let's continue with your interview, shall we?
Yes, please do. So, what am I most looking forward to? In Shelby County, right, there are going to be many events taking place, such as Worldwide Manhunt, which is to say that there would be at least 5 people in the
Or
starting area,
more.
in the spawn area. They'd get like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to disperse, because they don't need any more than that. They'd have to go and they'd have to gear up, right? And then after the time expires, PvP is on, and then it's a hunt for the trophy. Well, not a hunt for the trophy, a hunt for the people to get the trophy. To be the last man standing. It will be extremely fun. There would be a good amount of prize money. And I just think that everyone would really get into it, and it'd be kind of spooky. Spooky. But my
Interesting.
other game, the other event that we're definitely probably looking forward to most is Ultimate Forgery. Now, I've been speaking to the king of Zorcadia, and I've been like, oh yeah, can we come to your land and maybe set up some like forts and see if we can defend a castle, for our flag? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, if you give me enough gold. So yeah, I gave him enough gold. I had much gold, so I gave it to him. So now we're going to be able to do Ultimate Forgery, which entails of going to mountains to get certain resources, building up your own castle, which will not be reset, because I want to leave like ruins throughout this entire Zorcadia. And whatever you find is what you can use.
Ah,
So,
interesting. Very
both of these
interesting.
games, many others, we have many other games, including the championship, which I won't get into, because, it has to be organized. That's the other big thing. But these two games will unleash our chaotic sides I'm hoping. Right? And the money that you get for winning will be great, and you'll also get a trophy to put into your property. So it's pretty great.
It is. It is. It is. Another question that we have here, right now is, how is Miniville coming along? Very popular question nowadays. How is it coming?
It's horrible. It doesn't have a layout, it doesn't have directions, it doesn't have speed bumps, and it doesn't have many great games. It has one great solo game, which I like to play because it's absolute chaos. It's called Zombies. Basically, you're in that town over there, which is Riverside Valley, and basically then zombies try to come to you and kill you, and you just have to survive as long as you can. You tier up, right? You get like better gear and better equipment, and you're like, for a moment you're like, oh, this is really easy, right? But as soon as one zombie sees you, most of the time they all see you. Like one moment you're happy and dappy and you're like, oh, this is so nice, let me pull up a chair. But if one zombie, just one, sees you, then they'll all come. And what's worse about that is the babies. Because those little legs, we've all dealt with them. I don't need to explain why they're hell, you know.
Indeed.
But when Miniville, does start production again, it should be a great place to go for all types of people. Ideally.
Good. Another question is, how is the preparations for building that new city that we talked about?
Crystal Skies?
Yes.
Well, there are currently no preparations, unfortunately. Me and Glitch haven't had the time to talk about it, but in the next coming weeks, because as you know, he is preparing for his flight, it is going to take a little bit of time, because it's complicated over in whatever city I said he was in, right? I believe it was called Livadia or something, I don't know. So, once he gets all prepared and he comes over here, together we're going to work on the city. It's going to have very good skyscrapers, a great mountain backdrop, alleyways, and just loads of secret stuff, I'm imagining. This city is going to be completely different from anything we've seen so far. Completely
interesting. Interesting. And could you tell us how is Mr. Glitch preparing for this? Is there any things that you could tell us from his part of view?
Well, mainly he just says it's a load of rubbish a lot. And frick you. But besides that, how he's preparing is... he's...
Well, I mean, he is the head of staff, so I imagine he does have many plans, right?
Yeah, he has many plans. I'm sure over there, wherever he is right now, right? He's probably got some blueprints for structures that he intends to build. Right? I haven't seen them, personally, unfortunately. Oh, but I'm sure he has them, and we can look over them when he arrives, and we can put down the, groundwork, as he likes to call it, and make some more laws so they can be abided or completely forgotten about by many players. But yeah, he's just preparing by, just staying positive, keeping his team positive, especially me. I got a lot just quiet, and then I'm like, ugh, and then he's like, Fox, take it easy, you're fine, you're a cool dude. And I'm like, no, Glitch. And then he's like, yes, take your time. He's done that many times. He has saved me so many times from just pulling all my hairs out one by one. Because at one time in Shelby County, I was trying to work on all projects, and he was like, would you just stop? Just work on one? Just one at a time? And I was like, you know what, Glitch? I'll try. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Well, that is a very good explanation of the kind of person he is. Um, Another question that we got sent by people from the city is it true that there was a restoration project on a prison?
Restoration? Yes. The penitentiary of Shelby County was upgraded majorly. For I think
Hmm.
like the third time. The original one has now kinda... It's still there. Where we got original parts. Like the cell block's still the original. And like all the main components are original. But the walls are different. The watchtowers are different. Solitary is in a different place. The interior is also very different. And how it works is very different. As we, we understand that, prison needs to be not entirely fun, but I just wanted to make it work a little bit better. And also the walls, I got to a certain point at a night where I was looking at them, and they kind of just annoyed me. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with you. And so I made them straight, which I think makes the whole penitentiary look a little bit more, formal and a little bit more mannered. Also, I removed all the coral, and I'm fully intending to remove all the dead coral I've ever used in pathing and walls, because I don't like it. It's horrible. I'm fairly sure you can see. No, they're gone from back there, as you can see.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, a question that I personally have, as I take security very serious,
I'd imagine you do.
and I support our police department and all of those people, right? Does this prison now include the security system that the other prison has?
It does not yet, because the whole prison breakout system has not been implemented just yet. As we
Interesting.
need to, well, I need to, just work on something for a while, and then I kind of stop working on it, because if I don't stop working on it for a while, then it's all going to turn to mush. And I don't want that. I actually want something, good, as a good result. So if I keep working on it until my brain is mush, then that's going to become mush. And then I'm going to rush it, and it's going to be all bad. So I will be putting in a few escape routes, right? Because we have to have escape routes, because, otherwise you could just very simply grab a pickaxe and go to a wall. The end.
Yes.
Right, so we need to come up with fun escape routes. Obviously, we don't want to encourage escapement, right? But if it's going to happen, we want to control it.
Yes. Obviously, extremely
Yeah.
seeable. Um, I do have this question that another fellow reporter has. What is happening to Vision City in the source of?
Oh. Well,
Is it gonna disappear? Is it gonna be moved? What's gonna happen?
well, I can't tell you too much, but it's no longer called Vision City. It's now called the Lost City.
The
So,
Lost City.
basically, what will happen in the far future?
Yes.
It's still the way you remember it right now in this world. What will happen is a replica of V-Mart. Now, don't come complaining to me if it looks exactly the same as it does right now. Right, that's how good of a replica it is. Right, also it's very easy to make a replica of it. V-Mart will be going into Crystal Skies. Right, a replica of V-Mart. Some things will probably be changed. What will be happening to the rest is it's basically absorbed by nature. It's lost to the world. And basically, I'll probably end up hooking up some quest in there and some storyline in there. And then the players will get, rewards for finding it and maybe, surviving it, I guess? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know entirely what will be happening with it yet. I just know it won't be staying around because it doesn't fit with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it was on the original Bedrock version and it was on an island, that kind of worked because it was its own thing. But now that it's on this island, it just doesn't work.
Yes.
And also, it's very easy. You know, if we add it to this, I'm gonna use the word I shouldn't use, game, right?
Yes.
In quotation marks, which is called Shelby County Survival, or players will find it very easy, right? They'll get to a point of like being difficult and whatever, and then I'll have to be like, oh, you can only access this area if you've defeated the down where they lay trial. I don't want to do that, right? Because there's a chance that somebody will just be like, nah, I'm just gonna do this. Also, I don't want them to just go in there and get, you know, just full diamond, because it's very easy to do that right now. I don't want that. I want things to be difficult. If you get diamond in this, you know, county, I want it to feel special. But if
Yes.
villagers are just kind of throwing it away, like, oh, here's diamond, right? It doesn't feel special. Because I want it so that if you see someone walking around with diamond, even netherite, I mean, yeah, you see someone walking around with netherite, that's nice, but if you see someone walking around with diamond, they're actually more rich if they're walking around with diamond because of how difficult diamond is to get compared to netherite armor, which somehow we flipped netherite and diamond. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, one of the rewards is netherite armor for defeating or completing the storyline.
Mm-hmm. Well, very, very, very interesting. This what is happening to what did you say it was called? Lost City?
The Lost City.
The Lost City. Yes.
And just to create some hype, right? Throughout the world, there will be lots of lost relics, like shipwrecks of a certain ship, but that certain ship has to be interiorized before I can sink it. Now, if you know what that ship is, then you know what that ship is, right? And there will also be a certain mall returning. It's going to also be lost to nature, right? Because I don't want to forget about that mall, due to the fact that that mall actually has, you know, backstory. You know, something actually happened with that mall. It wasn't just a building, you know. Because if you know the story, you don't have to know it now, but if you know the story, then you know why it has to be involved, basically.
Yes. Very, very, very understandable. So, other questions that people are having is the island gonna stay like this for the rest of its lifetime, or will it start changing further on in time?
Well, the island right now is, unfortunately, I hate to look at it this way, but it is basically a square with a little bit of a bump out at the bottom, right? Which is fine, right? It's gonna have all the necessities that a player will need, like the biomes and all that kind of stuff. Currently, I have no plans to change how the island looks, but if there ever becomes a point where I kind of want to like create more holes in it, like let's say at the top of the island, I want to make this sort of cave-in bit, you know, where it's got like a U-shaped cliff and then there's just ocean in the middle at the top.
Yes.
And then there's like, I don't know, the mesa around it or something.
Yes.
Or the canyons, or whatever you want to call them. Like, that's something we could do, and that could actually look pretty good. But currently, what we're gonna do is just, we're gonna fill in all the space, and then if we decide, hey, this map looks very boring, let's mess it up a little bit, because in this game, if things are too neat, then it's a little bit boring, so, in this county, so not this game. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, very, very interesting, of course. Um, what is, if you could tell us, right? We know that one of the founders, Mr. Glitch, has started his story. Do you know if anyone else from the original founders have started their stories?
Well, the collection of stories is called The Four Founding Fathers. I, who is a father, founding father, right? I have not started my story, unfortunately. The issue that we do currently have at the current moment, is we have two other founding fathers who we're gonna have to basically write for. Right.
Interesting.
If I can message either one of them and be like, hey, what's a line or what's something you want in your what's that word?
Founder story,
No,
or
no, there's a it doesn't matter. What's something you want in your story or on the sign so that when people originate in Shelby County, right, when they start, right, because obviously they're going to be put into this circular. I want to make it sandstone, so it'll probably end up being sandstone themed, and then there'll be four statues, and then there'll be like a line of something. Like for me, it could say, I don't know, staying power, just as an example, and then Glitch can say, I don't know, it's a load of rubbish or something, something like that. So it's what that kind of player would want on that sign, and then there's going to be a book talking about them a little bit.
yes, yes, very interesting.
But
So you're saying that only one of the founders has started. You're
yeah,
still looking for time to start yours, and the two other founders are technically not
unavailable.
here in the
Yeah,
situation. Yes, well, a very sad of a story, but yes.
yeah.
Unfortunately, um, our questions have technically run out, so I'm just gonna start making them up as I start going along now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
because you weren't making them up before.
yes, I wasn't. I was reading from a book that I have on my side.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
another thing is, how do you, Mr. Fox, take in the idea of Glitchenberg? That's a very good question to have. How do you take in the idea of that place?
Well, I remember this day specifically. Not the date or anything, but I remember the day and where it happened. So, me and Glitch Gamer, right, we were just chilling. And this was in the Bedrock version, alright? And we were
Of course,
just
of course.
chilling, just talking like we usually do. I believe this is in Shelby County Survival Episode 1. It was called New Plans or something along those lines. And he was like, "Oh, I want to build this, country." And so I was like, "Hey, mate, why don't you build that in survival?" Now, at first, he didn't want to make it in survival, right? Because he was like, "Oh, I don't want to make it in survival. I want to make it creative." Right? So it took a little bit of nudging to get him there, right? But now he is going to make most of it out of survivalness. Um,
Yes.
I'm willing to help him pay for, whatever he needs to buy, like, because that's the kind of guy I am. Now, if I did have my producers, obviously then I'd have more money, and then, yeah, but I don't at the moment. They have to be reinstalled. But personally, I'm very excited for Glitchenberg, right? I'm even hoping one day it will be a survival option for players, right? Because, you start in this Victorian old style city where the jobs are crap and the money is crap, so like you really have to work over there. Over here you're kind of sorted, you just go and punch some wheat and then you're rich already kind of, if you don't go for a nap halfway through. So like the difficulties will be different, which is good, to add some variety. There will be lots of variety, by the way, in Atrix Empires. Lots of variety. But yeah, I'm very excited to see him start on it.
Very, very, very nice. Very nice. Is it true that you used to own half of Glitchenberg? If it doesn't bother you, this question, of course.
It does, you best. Sorry, I got a little bit excited there.
Non-thinking.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna help with Glitchenberg. I can't remember distinctly why he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it by myself. I know I was helping out with version 1, and then I showed him a YouTube series, and I broke his brain. So he was like, "Oh, so you were right? No, that can't be." It was very funny.
Yes.
I'm not really upset about it, to be honest. I mean, I have to do this town called Origin Town, and well, I don't have to, right? But I'm going to. Right? I have to build that up, make it bigger, make it, fit in, and that's gonna go into Kansula City. So basically, I am making Kansula City, technically.
Okay. So you own Kansula City, then, of course.
I don't own Kansula City. It's just the area that I'm in. I'm basically making Kansula City. Because if you look at the area that it's in, right now it's got my town and the prison, and there's nothing else there. So I am making basically Kansula City. In a way.
So would you technically be the mayor of that city?
I would imagine. I would imagine that I would be the mayor. Yeah. I could have a town hall. I don't have a town hall. There are so many more things I need to make with that town, but I want to stick, because in case you don't know, here's a little fun fact for everyone watching at home. Right? Origitown was a town I made before I made the Shelby County Penitentiary. That is how old it is. That is how old that little town is. And what's better, is I had to replicate that town from 2 images. That's all I had. 2 images. I had to do so much findangling. I had to take screenshots of the screenshot, zoom in at a certain building, just to see how tall it approximately is. Let me tell you,
Yes.
sir, I'm super duper glad I put half slabs on top of the school's roof. I don't know why they're there, but I'm very glad I did, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten the sizing. I wouldn't have.
Interesting.
I am very, very, very freaking glad I used blocks with highlighted squares. Like, the smooth stone slabs? Yeah, I used those as my roads. For my roads, that's the pathing. Very glad I used them, because it helped me out with, counting how far things are. So, it was tricky, but I got there.
Very, very, very nice, interesting thing you have there, Mr. Fox.
Thank you.
Well, we'll do a couple of more questions, and unfortunately, that would be the end of this interview. But let's continue, shall we?
Yeah. Well, we can do as many as you can.
Yeah. At the admin tower, or the admin headquarters now as it's known, I imagine, right?
Yeah, it got renamed and remodeled.
Yes. Why did you decide? I imagine you were the one who gave the order to redesign that building, right? Why the sudden change? If we may ask, excuse me, I'm having trouble speaking right now. But why did you decide?
Well, as you know, Shelby County is going into a completely new age of existence.
Yes.
You could tell that Is my stand crooked? No, okay. You can tell that because the server now has a name, which is Atrax Empires. Before it was just Shelby County, you know. There was no inclusion for any of the other cities and towns and all that kind of stuff. You know, they were just there, but they weren't in Shelby County, right? So when I looked at that building, one, it just sounded like it was just my tower, right? Because I'm Mr. Fox, and you know that's Fox headquarters. And so what I wanted to do, I wanted to make it more involving, inclusive. All right, so I was like, okay, I'll call it the admin headquarters, because that's what we always called it, but it wasn't actually titled the admin headquarters. So I took it upon myself, right, to destroy it. Well, I basically just took it from the headquarters half, took it off, pasted it above, and then put admin building up to it. And then I added some extra floors, added some extra interior, and now it is looking so much better than what it is, and it's going to fit in so much better than it would have, you know, especially within this new age of Shelby County, or I should say Atrax Empires, as it's formally known now.
Yes. Another question. I did hear that you and Mr. Glitch had a meeting discussing the technical problems of the server recently and adding new things. Is it true that you are now looking for more staff? Is that true?
We are always looking for staff, to be perfectly honest. We're always looking for more staff. Why don't I not see nighttime? I just realized this. Sorry to interrupt you, but we haven't seen nighttime. I think I have a day setter over here somewhere. I'll have to check in with my tech people. But yeah, we are looking for more staff because obviously, especially I can't build much anymore. Right, as you probably have seen or haven't seen, I don't know what. My progress has slowed down a lot. It's almost stopped in a certain way, right? Because I just can't really do it anymore. And like I was talking about, you know, mush earlier, I don't want this whole world to become mush. Yes. So I have to take my time. I have to follow Glitch's advice, which involves taking my time. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking my time. And when he gets here, I'm basically going to say, Glitch, you do this. I'm going to go sleep. Kidding. I'm going to help him. Because, you know, I don't want him to feel the pain of just being alone. He will be alone sometimes, you know, because of, you know, time differences and all that. And I'm sure he won't mind that. But it'll be super great to have him back. Because honestly, I've missed him. This whole server needs him, basically, to survive. So when he does fly in, hopefully not through a plane coming out of the ground with glitch particles coming behind it, because that would just suck, right? So hopefully that's not how he enters. Hopefully not. So yeah, I'm taking a break. I'm working on Zorcadia for a little bit. It's mainly just the nature parts. I might dabble in making a castle.
Look at that.
Yeah. Castle. Okay. That's my answer.
Well, very another interesting part of this great interview, Mr. Fox.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we were talking too much about the server now, right? We kind of went off track of you personal interview.
Yeah. Well, we're just talking about, you know, everything.
Yes. Yes. How would you, this question that I just have in my mind, how would you describe the rest of the founding fathers in your head, if you could actually tell us?
Well, let's start at the beginning, right? Well, a beginning, right? So there was this guy called Hawking Dread. He's a great guy. He helped me out, with inventing some things, like Mercurines. He helped me, fixing some layouts for some buildings. He did kinda help. Just kinda. Right?
Yes.
But not too much. Right? Hawking Dread stayed on for a few years in this project. But then he left. And he's gone now. He's never coming back, unfortunately. Right? So, next we have a guy called Tyrak 6211. He is a nice guy. He did some bits around this place. He did actually help me with quite a few bits. We did run into an incident with him at a certain point, which I don't personally like to talk about because it was a little bit rough on all sides for all people.
Yes.
It was very bad. I won't get into it too much because again I don't feel comfortable doing that.
It is fine.
Next we have Glitch Gamer. There's no easy way to describe him besides being so damn thankful that he's here. Because, again, he's helped me out with advice. He's let me just talk about shit, like anything. He is like the kind of guy that every server should have. The server wasn't anything when he got here. He literally saw it, basically said that's a load of rubbish, and upgraded it. Right?
Yeah.
He added laws, he added stability, he kept everyone in check, even fucking at sometimes he just gave out to me, and that was fine because like he was being constructive while giving out to me. He was like, yeah, this building is shit. Sometimes it was a little bit too forward. I think now he's kind of calmed down, which is nice.
Yes.
I appreciate his feedback. Sometimes he forgets that I actually need his feedback. So he's like, oh, I don't want to give you my feedback. And then I'm like, I need it. I literally need it. Right? Making him happy with, like, projects that I'm surprisingly good at sometimes. Like the Transperian Dogs. I actually surprised him with that. He was like, wow, this is actually good. Which is both an insult and a compliment. So,
Yes.
I don't know how he pulled that off.
Well, the thing is with Mr. Glitch, which we haven't had a interview with him, sadly, is that he's a very interesting person. He's very judgmental in many ways, but at the same time, he's the nicest person you could ever know.
Yeah, he is really, really, really nice. And this server is so much better with him. By the way, fun fact here. He left about 8 times.
Yes, I've heard on that in the museum channel. They're very interesting that he left so many times.
It's funny, it's funny. I've never seen somebody leave a project and come back so many times. But hopefully we're past, most of that. It is kind of funny. I kind of want him to get to 10 leaves, right? But on the other hand, I kind of don't, because that would mean that I have to, annoy him 2 more times to make him leave. Don't want to do that. But when he gets here, right, I've given him permission. And he's like, Glitch, the server looks nice. The building looks nice. But when you get here, I'm allowing you to basically have Atrix empires to get glitched. Alright, just purple and black it all over the entire world. Right? Because I'm decent at trees. I'm alright with buildings. Details are fine. Right? But this guy he is just a little step up from what I can do.
Yes.
You know, and he's also, you know, taught me some things about detail and how to make things look, you know, not rubbish, which is very nice, very constructive. And so when he does get here, the server will look so much better, it will feel so much better, and Shelby County survival hype. Yeah, that is basically my answer.
Well, that was a very detailed view on some of the founders. Very nice describement to them.
Description.
Unfortunately, this is my last question, as we are running out of time.
That's perfectly
but
fine.
yes, what is one thing that you would like to say to the people that are watching this right now?
So, guys, everyone watching at home, I really do hope you enjoyed this interview. If at any point you want to both ask me a question or join this server when it is open, our names will be in the Discord. It's, you know, down there. Right, so you can add us, you can text us, and maybe we'll see if you can join us. Because this server will only be taking, you know, limited people. Right, because that's
Yes.
because we only have 10 spots available at the current moment on our server, so we can only allow for 8 other people. I am sorry about that. But
Very.
everyone, when he does arrive, right, and you know who I'm on about, when he does arrive, just know Atrix empires will become glorious.
Well, very well said, Mr. Fox. Well, thank you, Mr. Fox, for this very nice interview. Thank you for having your time with us.
And thank you,
Very nice.
and thank you very much for these insightful questions. I hope I answered all of them pretty well. And if anyone has any more questions, leave them down below. And check the description.
Yes. Well, thank you. We will be going back to Jim Smith in the Lama News headquarters now. Take it on, Jim Smith. Jim Smith here. That was a very nice interview. Unfortunately, this is the time of the end of this Lama News interview. Have a very good day, and we will see you all later. Have a good day.